Hey guys, it's Masatonek. I'm bilingual harukist. 皆さん、こんにちは。バイリンガルハルキストのマサトネクです。Haruki Murakami book guide short story 30, The Year of Spaghetti. So, in this video, I'd like to talk about The Year of Spaghetti, which is written by Haruki Murakami. It's a very short story and obviously about spaghetti story. So, I'm not sure, but in my image, Haruki Murakami's one characteristic is very related to spaghetti because in some novel, the protagonist always making a spaghetti or pasta by himself. So, and the Murakami means spaghetti, spaghetti means Murakami, etc. I don't know, but that's my image. So in a way, this one is very much Murakami-like story, I think. So let's get started. So as always, this video consists of 3 parts. First, overview. Second, story. Third, deep reading or reading tips from me. So first, overview. This one firstly appeared in the New Yorker in English market 2005 November, and after that contained in collection of short story Blind Widow Sleeping Woman 2007 July, and in Japan it's originally contained in the Perfect Day for Kangaroos, another collection of short story 1983 September. So which means apparently it's a very first stage of his career. And like I said, this is a spaghetti story, but a little bit a bitter taste of spaghetti story. Means when you read it, you can tell how little bit bitter taste, but it's a kind of a, like I said, it's a story about spaghetti and also story about loneliness. So which means we could say that spaghetti is a metaphor of loneliness. It's very Murakami-like, isn't it? So what kind of story? Let's take a look at it. And second story. This is a story of 1971, and the protagonist or storyteller, or in this case maybe Murakami himself, called 1971 is the year of spaghetti. The reason why 1971 is the year of spaghetti is the protagonist always cooking spaghetti almost every day. So one week starts with cooking spaghetti, and then continuously he makes spaghetti every day. And after next week, making spaghetti with making spaghetti, new weeks have started. So he always making spaghetti, and then the depiction of how he made spaghetti is kind of very interesting and really Murakami-like. And when you read it, there are sentences make you cook spaghetti by yourselves. That's a kind of, I think, magic of the sentences, I think. And then one day when he keep on making spaghetti, he got a call from ex-girlfriend of friend. And apparently this friend is also ex-friend. at that time, the connection relationship is not so close. We can tell from the description. So it's a very kind of far distance from the protagonist and this girl. So, and the reason why this girl called protagonist is she want to reach I mean ex-boyfriend, but in some unknown reason she can't. So she can't have a phone number. I don't know if they sing each other, but some maybe complicated situation was there. So she called the protagonist how she could reach him, but protagonist say is kind of one reason they started to sing with each other, but if the girl doesn't know the friend's a phone number, maybe there could have some problem, some personal problem. So in that case, if a protagonist tell phone number to her, cause some trouble between friend and the protagonist. So, and the protagonist think it's very that doesn't want to do such a thing, doesn't want to be involved in such a complicated situation involving a such a love emotion. So he just simply said, I didn't know his number. So, but still their girlfriend keep on asking, please tell me. There are kind of conversations going on. And then one moment, protagonists think about some idea. Now, now I'm making spaghetti. So, which means I can't continue. I couldn't continue this conversation anymore, and then end up the call. So there is a kind of excuse to hang up the phone and end the conversation. Of course, the girl very anxious about very ambitious. No, not ambitious. She doubt about that, but the protagonist keep on saying this is a keep on making with spaghetti. So and they hung up. That is the end of the conversation. After that, she never get in touch with protagonist. So and then how to say that's kind of reminds you when you read the Wind Up Bad Chronicle, almost same situation is there. Some woman called protagonist, and then protagonist is during the process of making spaghetti, and then that's the reason why they ended up the conversation. But in Wind Up Bad Chronicles case, really in reality, protagonist making a spaghetti, but in this case, the making spaghetti is just an excuse, really excuse. So he didn't make a spaghetti at that moment, but that year is the year of spaghetti. So the other day, always he making a spaghetti. So that excuse is very natural to him, and then a little bit slightly different. And then, after hang up the phone, he think about some loneliness and also a pot full of spaghetti which never boiled, because the imaginary when in his imagination there are some spaghetti had been boiled, but that is only in his imagination. So in reality, there are no spaghetti which is never no spaghetti. So he thinks about that imaginary spaghetti and then finished. That is the story. It's not a long story. So just and he got a call and hung up, and to excuse by excusing making spaghetti. That is a kind of story. And then how to say, to by telling that story of imaginary spaghetti, protagonists think about loneliness. That is a kind of, I think, the key theme of this story. So how we can enjoy this story? Deep reading. Let's have lunch with spaghetti and tea, and as protagonist. They in the novel, protagonist making so many variety of spaghetti. So it's actually it's how to say quote what kind of spaghetti he cook. So a reader can tell how what kind of pasta and spaghetti he make. So maybe now we have a Google. So when we Google it or some searching for some recipe site, we can find out how we can make some eat spaghetti. And also he thinks tea is a perfect match for spaghetti, and making and eating spaghetti is protagonist thinks it's a very how to say for kind of a solo work, because he thinks drinking and eating spaghetti is a very lonely act. So apparently he did that by himself. So ask him, let's take a lunch. Say if you have a time by yourselves. So, and also during the eating spaghetti, let's think about William Holden and Jennifer Jones. The why these actors and actresses are featured in this novel is very kind of mysterious things, and but some unknown reason the protagonist think when he eating spaghetti he he thought somebody might visit his home, and then in some case that's a some friend, in some case some unknown man, and in some case William Holden with Jennifer Jones, and then that's the thought a protagonist think, and to me, William Holden and Jennifer Jones is just a name. I don't know who they are at first when I read, so of course I googled it. But maybe some movie fan or it's not. You can easily imagine what they are representative of. When I search their name on Google, they are some film is featured. Love is a many splendorous thing. It's a 1955 American movie. It's a kind of very so-called classic love story. I guess kind of very how to say old one, but still kind of legendary one, I guess. In Japan, this one has a Japanese original title, Bojo. It's a kind of a feeling of love emotion. So a little bit slightly title has changed, but maybe it's related to the story itself. So anyway, it's a love story and Hollywood, very Hollywood type of love story, I guess. So love is the main splendid thing is remind him when he during when he eating spaghetti and have tea. So maybe let's think about why he imagined was think about William Holden, Jennifer Jones, or love is many splendid thing. So that's one way to read deeply. And also, let's think about the loneliness. Like I said, in this novel, spaghetti could imply a loneliness because the protagonist says spaghetti is a lonely food. So making and eating spaghetti by himself is a very lonely act. And then he, how to say, he had a decision to refuse the relationship with such a some complicated one ex girlfriend or ex friend, and also he also hung up ending. He wanted to how to say keep distance from also friends as well. So in this case, in this story, protagonist is keep himself as lonely. So um, by making spaghetti and eating it. So let's think about that kind of loneliness. How why he keeps him very lonely and why he feels such a loneliness. Let's think about it. It's a very how to say interesting way to read deeply. But um, let's have a spaghetti itself is a not so deep one. Let's very casual one. So we should try it more casually or more relaxing way. So that's it. So thank you for watching my video. If you like it, please give me a good rate, and I would appreciate if you subscribe my channel. And like this, I posted this kind of book guide video 2 to 3 times per week. So if you are interested, please search it any your favorite title or and then please find it. And so let's see next video. See you until then.